And we are live. Welcome, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another Ty Talks Live late edition. I always enjoy doing these streams a bit later than usual. You found some cars, I guess. Yeah, that's how I would phrase it too. Quite frankly, I'm sorry. This is kind of an impromptu live stream, so let's let's make it look a little nicer around here real quick. I had no clue what to put in my background for this stream. So here's Jeremy and the Chiefess. I bought them today. Woo! I need something to fill out this space. Cover this ugly little part where the paint is scraped off. Let me go grab something. Who else do I have in the package? Does anybody care enough about Manny Rodriguez? Okay, let's see. Welcome everyone. I mean, we could just stare at one 2-pack for the entire stream. That's not the worst idea. Any ideas for Jeremy? Yeah, this is my second Jeremy. So I'm gonna be repainting him into somebody for Batcar. Probably the mutant leader. If you know the mutant leader from The Dark Knight Returns, I think that would be very funny for Jeremy. The mutant leader is this bombastic, over-the-top, evil, shirtless guy with a weird visor and a bunch of spikes all over him. And he doesn't really work in context outside of his original comic series. So Ivy diecast good? I think it's alright. I honestly think it could have been better, but Miles with open hoods over here. Yeah, I'm gonna cut off the mallet and give it to the Harley Quinn car. Yeah, definitely. But for Jeremy himself, I think Mutant Leader is a very funny choice. If that's a character you're familiar with. Again, he doesn't really work in contexts outside of his original comic story, but I think that's all right. Here, let me put some interesting recent purchases of mine in the frame. Oh, Gold Cruisin' McQueen. Always like to put cars that people could ask me questions about. Just interesting things I've gotten recently. So I think they're good conversation starters. And you know what? We'll throw a Thai custom in there too to help complete the scene. That's what we'll do. Where is a Thai custom? Which one do we want? That's my question. Ah, yes, the inferior Golden McQueen. Yeah, the 2021 Gold McQueen is a lot cooler. He's definitely superior. Okay, the only Thai custom I can find right now is the Lightning Cup one, and that's not very relevant. Let's see. Where are you, regular Thai custom? I need you in the center of my stream. Whatever. All right. I'm not gonna go searching for him. That's fine. We'll live. Okay. How are you guys doing? Like I said, I always enjoy doing these streams a bit later. Gives me a more unique, Hold on a second, guys, sorry. Sorry, I gotta get back to some collaborators of mine. I'm working on a big group project currently. And some people are messaging me. You know who you are. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Wow, so many people showed up um, for this stream. We're so late. Okay, all right. Let me get back to it. I am sorry. The Mandalorian game just got canceled, my guy. Yeah, they were working on Respawn, who made the Star Wars, the Jedi series, the Cal Kestis games. Was working on a game where you play as a Mandalorian, not the Mandalorian. Common misconception, and they canceled it. There's some disaster going on in the video game industry right now. A lot of layoffs, which is unfortunate. Their 20th anniversary, they should do a gold series. Not a bad idea. I just wouldn't want to diminish. I think having only a few gold cars makes it more special. Got 5 teeth out. My wisdom teeth and one other tooth that a wisdom tooth was pushing against. Yikes. I only had 3 wisdom teeth, which is not a common thing. I know my sister, I got mine out in 2020, and my sister got hers out a few years after me. And I think she had 4. I think my parents both had 4. I only had 3. Yeah, I'm trying not to speak. My mouth starts to hurt a little if I open it. Yeah, no, it's a pain. It gets better. It gets better pretty fast. But those first 2 days were rough for me with my wisdom teeth. All I wanted to do, man, was fall asleep, and they told me, let me know if this is true for you. I assume it's common procedure. I wasn't allowed to move my head down, so I had to sit propped up for hours. It was so strange. I remember being so tired, I fell asleep in the elevator on my way out from the operating room. Yeah, this was back in 2020, so I hope you get better. I mean, I'm sure you will. It's wisdom teeth. I had, the worst surgery I've ever had. I used to have scoliosis, which means, like, my back, my spine was literally, like S-shaped. It was crazy. And I had to have spinal fusion surgery. They put metal rods in my back to straighten it out. That didn't happen, so I guess I'm just unlucky. I had to put metal rods in my back to straighten it out. No, I don't have the Apple Car. There are very few of them in existence. Yeah, they put metal rods in my back, and I was in pain for just a whole month. This was back in 2017, right before I started my channel, actually. I've told the story before. Apparently I said some funny things when I was loopy. Oh, they knocked me right out. I was asleep, and I'm glad I was asleep. Who knows what I would have said? I remember, of all things, like, the Duck Dynasty episode where the kids, if you've ever seen the show, got their wisdom teeth taken out. And, all the guys on that show had these really big beards. And I remember the son calling the father Chewbacca. And, like, I was terrified when I saw that. I was like, if they put me on anesthesia, I don't want to say weird things. I had an SUV roll over my right foot. That is terrible. Why are we just listing surgeries now? Yep, this is the 2024 Jeremy and Chiefess pack. Glad to have the Chiefess finally. She looks good. Very excited. I guess I'll review him tomorrow. I can get him as a factory custom. Yeah, the Apple Car. I plan to someday. I just haven't. use the Cars flashcards. I've seen the Cars flashcards you sent me. I know you sent them to me at first. They look like they're fake. I know they're not. But they are pretty funny. They're full of inaccuracies. I know. I've seen. I didn't watch the video you sent me, but I've seen when you've tagged me in images. And no, they're so weird, man. I don't plan on covering them in the next weird products. I don't really know a weird products episode where they would fit. You know, the next weird products I want to do is gonna be probably a weird puzzles. I guess the game edition, if I ever do a third weird games. I guess like a educational Cars products episode. I'm not sure where they would fit in, but they are definitely a good choice. Weird food 2. So I tried to do weird food part 2. Sorry, I just gotta make sure my phone doesn't overheat. It's been doing that quite a bit lately on streams. I've wanted to do a part 2 to weird foods, but I'm gonna be honest. I just have not been able to. I'd love to. I was gonna do one back on Thanksgiving. But I cannot find enough weird Cars food to do a sufficient second part. I know there's a lot out there, and there certainly is. But just like, I don't know, there aren't enough good ones, there aren't enough with like good images. What do you think of the Deadpool trailer? Oh, I never did talk about the Deadpool trailer on stream, did I? That came out a few weeks ago now. I did not talk about the Deadpool trailer. It looks very good. I'm excited to see that, definitely. What do you think of the cars that are coming for 2024? I did a whole video on it. I think it's an alright year. I think we've had better, but I think we've had worse. I think it's pretty mediocre. Any movies you want to watch? I saw Aquaman 2 last night. I can only describe it as a movie that I watched last night. It was alright. For stuff coming out, just the next... there are not many movies I want to see this year. Just Deadpool 3, the Joker sequel, Venom 3. I think those are the only times I'm going to the theater this year. I don't know, there's not much out that I'm into this year. When's the next Cars Randomness? That's a good question. I actually wanted to get one out by the end of February, since we haven't had one since August. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure currently. I'm going to be taking a break from uploads. Yeah, Venom 3, villain... Yeah, what do you want to see this year? It's all villain movies and Deadpool. Yeah, Venom 3 comes out, I want to say November? Yeah, no, I'm not a Sonic fan. I'll have friends who'll see it, but I didn't see the first two. I am on spring break starting a week from today. So, as per usual, I take a break from videos when I'm on spring break. So I'm gonna be taking a break then, and I have quite a few videos I want to get out before then. Will you include the cars? Flashcards. I answered that a few minutes ago. If you go back, I answered that. Now they actually said, I'm shocked, but Tom Hardy said Venom 3 is the last Venom. I'm very surprised to hear that, but we'll see. We'll see if that stays true. Yeah, so I don't know when the next randomness will be now. Yeah, I've heard Dune 2 is very good. Um, yeah, I've heard it's very good. I thought the first one was fine. I don't really remember it much. I thought it was alright. A little boring, but alright. I've heard it definitely gets a lot better in the second one. I don't think I'll see it in the theater. Yeah, no, Dune 1 was kind of slow, but I hear 2 really picks it up, which is good. I think that needs to be picked up in the pace, quite frankly. Like, it was alright. I just distinctly remember, like, there were a few good scenes, and then there were weird things. I don't want to get into it, I don't want to spoil it in case you're seeing the first one to prepare for the sequel. You're not late, don't worry, we only started about 15 minutes ago. The Disney Fortnite map is not going to be out for like 3 years. It would be funny if you made a Cars randomness but have absolutely no cars in it. You can use anything else. I think it would be funnier if it's like just the Cars playsets but without cars. It's Cars items but not the die casts. It's like, oh, what are we going to do with this Rusty's can? Yeah, one is definitely... Well, it's a two-part movie. So one is setup, Dune 1 is setup, and then Dune 2 is payoff, you know? And honestly, I think I'd rather have it like that than have everything crammed into one movie. If you have to take a longer time to tell your story, that's a good way to do it. Cringe, Ty's old voice. Hey, I couldn't control that, man, but you're right. Did you play Cars Fast as Lightning? I loved Fast as Lightning. Favorite character? I'm not sure. I never got around to unlocking them all. Do I have Squat? No, I've not found Squat. Despicable Me 4 is coming out this year, and I hope the menacing minion made an appearance. That would be amazing. I understood that reference. Yeah, I saw that. Look, I've only seen the first Despicable Me, and I thought it was fine. They do a Breaking Bad Cars parody. I've never seen Breaking Bad. I plan to someday, but... It'd be interesting in the 2D Cars series. I don't really think that's necessary. I think it would be a little hard to pull off. Cars anime adaptation when? Somebody just asked me about Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. The first two are very good. And look, okay, you put Hugh Jackman as Wolverine in a movie, I'm gonna see it. Which isn't always a good thing, because X-Men Origins Wolverine exists, but that's okay. Yeah, I saw the Despicable Me 4 trailer. Did I? I think I talked about this on a past live stream, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. But I saw it when it came out, and like... everybody was like, oh, this looks so good, and I was like... The Despicable Me 4 trailer gave me such a feeling of emptiness. I don't think I've ever seen a trailer that made me feel like a series has run out of steam as much as the Despicable Me 4 trailer did. I was like, you're out of ideas. He has a child now. He already has 3 children. I know they're adopted, and this one is his biological son. But it's like okay, he's finding an old lady. It's like haven't we done this before? How do you feel about Megamind 2? It's not a real movie. It's just a straight to streaming movie. I saw the first one when it came out, and I don't remember it. I think the this quote unquote sequel is shady. You know, it's not. It's kind of a sleazy move, but I think the internet overhyped it as a full sequel instead of understanding that's like a 70-minute made-for-TV movie. It's not a full sequel, and it was never made to be. Ty, I've been subjected to Despicable Me 2 and 3. I'm sorry to hear that. I've heard they're okay. I mean, in the third one, the minions that are in prison. That's pretty cool. Opinions on this year's 11-pack. It's better than the last few, I think. I'm very excited to see Natalie Certain back. I know that's a little weird, but we've not seen a release since 2018. So, Ty, is there going to be a history of all the Cars characters diecasts, like Mater, Sally, Doc, Sheriff, and more? Yeah, it's a big undertaking, the Cars diecast history, but it's a series I've really enjoyed making. Yeah, Part 4 is in the work, should be out in a few days. That's Cars 3 McQueens. Then Part 5 will be out a few days after that. Um, um, yeah. What's the song you used for Magnet Face? I swear I heard that song in the car as a toddler. Poker Face? I used that for the Magnet Face joke. I think that's the only one, right? Think you got any of the new Ninjago sets? I don't think so. I'd love to get that Dragon Shrine set. That set looks beautiful, but it's like $120. Opinions on the Salt Fever 5-pack? I'm happy about it because none of those cars are out as singles this year. So if you really want to get Salt Flats cars, you could get them in one place instead of them clogging up the main line. Keeping up with the Kardashians one. I already did a Real Housewives parody. I'm surprised on how fast you're making the diecast history episodes. Me too. Me too, but I'm committed to getting one out a week. Love your thumbnail when you review diecast. Thank you. I was inspired by how Little Harky used to do it, I think. Yeah, I saw the new Speed Champion sets at Walmart. The first two Star Wars Anniversary sets are out, and some new Harry Potter sets, too. Lloyd's Elemental Mech isn't bad. I think it's alright. Do you plan on making more in a nutshell videos? Not really. I might. I may remake the Cars trilogy ones. Yeah, I've been committed because the thing with diecast history, it's been eating up a lot of my time editing, but I'm doing it because there are so many cars to get through. Still trying to rack the fact that Toy Story 5 is real. I don't want to talk about it, man. Yeah, so the thing with diecast history, there are so many McQueens to get through. I'm releasing them frequently just because I want to get it over with. There are 5 parts on just McQueen, and then 4 parts on Mater afterwards. So I'm trying to consistently release them because there are so many cars. There are so many cars out there that the only way for me to ever plan to finish this series is if I do it weekly. So I'm very proud of the quality and how fast I'm able to put them out. They take a lot of time, but I'm very proud of them. And I'm doing it purely because I want to be able to go through all the diecasts, and I don't want to be doing the series again, like, 7 years from now, you know? So I'm doing it weekly out of necessity, purely because I want to be able to keep making it. Remember when you said you had one job, Mattel? That was not a Little Harky reference. That was not. That was just me saying a sentence. That was not a reference to him. Did he used to say that? I only watched a few of his videos. Sorry, just trying to make sure my phone does not overheat. I gotta get a new phone, guys. Do you have all the Star Wars cars? Nah, I have like 4 of them. I saw all of them for sale back in the day, and I wish I bought all of them, but hey, you know. Yeah, Little Harky came out of nowhere, made some of the best Cars videos ever, and then left as quick as he showed up. He just, like that. He was there, he blew up, and then he disappeared. He faded away into the sunset. Was it 4 years ago? I think it was 5 years ago. He's fading! Fading fast! Yeah, there we go! It's possible to edit all the Cars on the Road episodes into a movie. That would be a very short movie. The Cars YouTube uploaded all of Cars on the Road in one video, and it's like 42 minutes long. It's depressing. Do you think the Learn with Lightning McQueen flashcards should be in weird products? I answered that at the beginning of the stream. I'm sorry if you didn't hear it. What's your favorite part about doing Cars 4? This is kind of weird. Like, I haven't seen Ty's Cars 4 since I made it. But I... This sounds weird, but my favorite part was filming the Radiator Springs scenes. I moved them from the little dinky corner I usually film them in, and I moved all of them outside, drove them over to my grandparents' house, and filmed them in their basement. And I think the Radiator Springs scene in Cars 4 looked beautiful. That was one of my favorite parts of filming it. I like the Stop Saying Kachiga. Thank you! See, nobody ever asks about Stop Saying Kachiga, but that was a voice cameo. And if you do the math, the voice cameos in Cars 4 actually don't line up with the voice cameos in the movie. There's one uncredited cameo, and it's the Stop Saying Kachiga. The person who said Stop Saying Kachiga went uncredited because he's an actual personal friend of mine from real life. And, I asked him to do that, and he recorded like 5 different versions, and we decided we wouldn't credit him. Yeah, the rivalry between Jeff and Brick. The thing about that, and I'm sorry if I'm misremembering because I've not watched High Scars 4 since before I uploaded it. What I really like. So I came up with the credit scene first. The idea of having a credit scene where the two of them like realize, hey, we're both number 24, and then I worked it into the whole movie because I thought like that'd be kind of funny. How big is your room? Not that big. For reference, the chair I'm sitting in right here is the chair that I use as the cliff in Cars Adventures. So directly on my right is all of Radiator Springs. The chair I use all the time looking over the town if you watch Cars Adventures a lot. This is that chair. On the right here, is my shelf. This shelf stretches all the way across this wall of my room. At the corner is my bed. Most of my room is taken up by a big table that all my cars are on. In the other corner, up against Radiator Springs, is my dresser, where I have all of my Marvel figures. Then we got my closet. Things are, I think, a lot closer together than you might think. I do a lot of camera trickery. Do you watch The Car Shifter? I do not, but I know he makes some good stuff from what I know of him. Heard again another Cars on the Road 9-pack. What episode would you want it to be about? It would have to be one with the big cast. I think Road Rumblers is the easy choice so that we could get like a long leggy or something. I'm gonna say here, okay? I'm gonna say Road Rumblers pack with long leggy as the exclusive. That's a bit ambitious, but we're gonna say him, Chiefess, and then the 4 Volkswagen Beetles that carry her. That's 6 cars. 7 and 8 can be McQueen and Mater. Or wait. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 9 could be Jeremy or maybe Justin Roadritter or the other one that we're getting this year. I think that would make a pretty solid pack. Have you unlocked Peter Griffin in Fortnite yet? No, I didn't buy the battle pass this season. I'm sorry. And I still don't know how to work the cluster clinger, guys. When are we getting super speed Mater? I don't know. One day. Do you have a slanted ceiling? Yeah, my ceiling is slanted in several different places. I'm sure you could probably tell from several videos. My room is really weirdly shaped. A lot of angles. Star Wars collection review when? I tried to do it on a live stream, but nobody watched. I did a Star Wars collection review in 2022, I think? Like March, April, on a live stream. It's a little outdated now, but you check that out. Like cards that have a memorable gag. Yeah, that's one of the most fun things about Cars Adventures. Yeah, I saw that. I was gonna post about that on my channel. There was a 3-way tie, and was it NASCAR last week? I saw that. People were posting that all over my Discord server. I thought it was so funny. I don't follow actual racing, but like I almost made a video about that. That's really funny. Have you read any of the Marvel comics? I have, yeah. There are some series I'll occasionally keep up with. I was reading an Iron Man run last year that was pretty good. And then I mainly just buy collected editions. Read a good deal of recent X-Men stuff. Spider-Man Life Story I have the collected edition of. That is a beautiful comic. I'm not reading any series currently, but I also have some older collected editions of some Silver Surfer stuff from the 90s. Then I have the collected editions of Avengers vs. X-Men, which I haven't finished, but I want to. And the collected edition of Devil's Reign, which is a recent series, which is very fun. Of course I've heard of the Winnie the Pooh horror movie. Of course I have. What a disaster. Gotta love the public domain. Can't wait for 100 years from now when Cars is in the public domain and they make a Lightning McQueen slasher movie. You got the new Cruisin' McQueen color changer. I've passed up on it a few times. Heard of Mickey's Mousetrap? Yup. I've passed up on it a few times. I'm not interested in it. I have the red to black one from a few years back. And I didn't think it was necessary to pick up another Cruisin' McQueen color changer, which doesn't have a new color scheme. You know, yellow to red is used all the time on McQueens. So, what's your headcanon for the missing sponsors in Cars 3? I think they went out of business. Either they went out of business or they were pulled from the Piston Cup. You know, they removed themselves from the Piston Cup. I like to think they went out of business. So are people making family-friendly media violence one of the most tiring things? It's one of the most low-brow, uncreative things you can do. It's like, guys, Cookie Monster, but he kills people. It's like, that's not creative. So like Cars Land poster and Muppets Most Wanted, yeah, and a Cars 2 posters in the 2011 Muppet movie. Welcome, Rusty's 95. You think Sludgy is still around? Yeah. Sludgy is like my favorite sponsor. I think it's so fun to have a sponsor with no racer. I think the NASCAR cars aren't canon. I think that's the only way to explain them. They're just a non-canon toy line exclusive line, you know. Um, that's my headcanon. Cave Mater or McQueen? I'm not sure. I'll have to see when I get Cave Mater. Want to wait until enough stuff is public domain to make a big crossover? Let's have Smash Bros with Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan. Is Alice in Wonderland in public domain yet? We could have her shrink me and explode people. Do I have a Discord server? I do. The link is currently closed. We're working on a new one. So I will post a new link when we have one. Do you think that Chuck Armstrong survived the crash? Well, we see him after. Don't take him out, coach. He could still race. He lived. He's fine. Have you seen any Sonic stuff? I have not. I'm not a Sonic fan. I'm aware of Sonic, but I'm not, like, a fan, you know? I gotta play a Sonic game someday. I will. Do you have the West Philanthropist? Nah. I wish. Yeah, I saw you say that earlier. Cars 2 is the only Cars movie without a credit scene. Well, 2 out of 3 is not bad. We should develop public domain Smash Bros, guys. Look out, it's Sherlock Holmes! Here he comes. He's gonna fight Abe Lincoln. You have Cryptobuster Mater? I do not. What you're seeing in front of you is the only new item I found recently. It's this, and then I have to review Murakami and Manny Rodriguez. So, where we got this is the only new item I have. No, the Grinch is not in the public domain yet. Somebody just made a knockoff horror movie about him. But yeah, no, let's get Bambi in here. That studio that did the Winnie the Pooh horror movie is also doing one about Thor, and I think that's really funny. Imagine a horror movie, and they're like running down the hallway, and all the lights are off, and it's Thor! It's like, I'm going to smite you now. Like, what is scary about Thor? Other than him, like, providing, like, divine justice. Not Marvel Thor, obviously. It's public domain Norse mythology Thor. But they're obviously banking off the fact that you know Thor from Marvel. And yes, they're doing Bambi, yep. You do more shorts of the questions? Yeah, I plan to. I just haven't gotten around to them yet, but I'd like to do some more question answering shorts. I don't really mind. I mean, Getting Hitched has the least amount of new characters in it. I think we should get Justice Stern, but I don't have a problem. That's like the only car that's significant that we're missing from Getting Hitched, so I don't really have a problem with that. Divine Justice. Presidents are public domain, right? There we go. President Smash Bros. Howard Taft could throw a bathtub at people. That'd be amazing. Imagine scrolling through your phone and you see a Cars Christmas video and then you realize that it's March. Yeah, who would make a Cars Christmas video in March? Must be a guy with a terrible schedule of that series, right? Obama solos. Who would be your main in presidential Smash Bros? Interested in the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection? Yeah, I think I'm gonna pick it up. I've never played the original Battlefront games. I think I'll get it when it comes out. I'm very excited to see them remastering them. Not remastering. I guess it's remaster, re-release. Yeah, no, I'm excited for that. Definitely. Star Wars Galactic Dance Off. That's. I'd rather have a remake of that. You're right. What would you like to see? My name is Ben Franklin. He's gonna strike people with his lightning bolt. Ben Franklin wasn't a president, right? Wait, no, he wasn't. What would you want to see in a Cars on the Road Season 2? Not trucks again. No, he wasn't. Thank you, Rusty's95. You made me question my, you made me question my American knowledge for a moment there. It's okay. He could be a DLC fighter. We could have the vice presidents as DLC fighters. Well, Adam, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, Adam's model was in Cars 3, so trucks really didn't do anything. I mean, need Hamilton in there. He wasn't a president either. That's why he'll be DLC. He just rap battles people. Well, and on the road ends with an open door to more show. You know, the problem is they just wouldn't have an objective. You need some place for them to go to. You know, first season ends with them being like, you know what, we don't need to take a plane back. We could just keep on driving forever. So I think if we just give them a place to go, I don't think we need that, but I would like that. Hamilton's final smash duel. A Boats musical because I like to see Ty suffer. Other than Obama, my main would be Lincoln. For Officer Murakami, I don't know what I was going to do for the thumbnail for Murakami. I could put Alex Vandell in there. That could be fun. How'd you feel if Mattel made a Ryan inside Laney color changer? When it's hot or cold, it turns into the inverted version of him from the Cars 3 crash. That would be so, genuinely so clever. They never would, but I genuinely love that concept. That's like... That's like one of my like pipe dreams. One of my diecasts I know will never happen is wrong color Ryan Laney. Yeah, Ben Franklin was not a president. Washington gonna be the most OP though. I think his final smash. I think like one of his moves. You know how Bowser Jr. could release like the like bombs and the little toy Koopa robot things? I think George Washington should be able to launch his wooden dentures out, and they walk around like those little wind-up teeth the Joker uses, and then like jump on people and bite them. You witnessed the piece attraction known as the Star Wars dance. Oh, the Star Wars dance show? It hasn't happened in a decade, unfortunately. Thank you for joining us, Elijah. Yeah, they stopped it in, I think 2013 was the last one. Andrew Jackson sweep. Him crushing people with the boat he crossed the Delaware with, and then planting an American flag next to them. Deadpool or Deathstroke? I honestly don't think we should compare them. No, they're genuinely, like, the only similar thing about them are their designs. You know, I think they fulfill very different purposes. We're gonna adapt the Lego Batman movie into Batcar. I don't think I will. Have you seen the Garfield trailer? I did. Seems a little boring. FDR uses his wheelchair for a final smash. No, well, no, they closed down the Star Wars dance show when after they bought Lucasfilm and were like, guys, we need Boba Fett to stop dancing to Beyonce. This is damaging the brand. How'd you feel if Winnie the Pooh gets put into Fortnite? I would be so excited. I would probably not play as him. Now, Rusty's 95. We can't get political. Everything's good until you mention recent presidents. A Pixar opening, but the eye fights back. This is how you know it's too late for me to be streaming. I'm laughing at things like that. Why did people think the Legends moved to Radiator Springs? They were at Willie's Butte at the end of the movie. You're allowed to visit a place and not live there. Favorite TROC line? I do not know. First three Cars games, probably Cars the video game is my favorite. Yeah, my favorite president, Denzel Washington. He could be DLC too. Guys, why have we spent most of this, why have we spent most of this stream talking about President Smash Bros? What's your ideal Disney fighting game? One where I could have Moana violently murder Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Huey, Dewey, and Louie need to be a triple character. What cars do you have left to review? Just this, Officer Murakami and Manny Rodriguez. Super President Bros. And then instead of having presidential debates, we just have all the candidates play Smash Bros against each other while still doing the debate. No, never mind. I don't think I can make that joke. Why didn't you put Cryptobuster McQueen, Margaret, and the Mossy Ivy mini racer outside for the thumbnail? Yeah, I was doing outdoor thumbnails around that time for a lot of the Cryptobuster cars. I don't remember. I just don't think it crossed my mind. Maybe it was too late. I don't know. Lin-Manuel Miranda, he invented America. I think. Yeah, no, Sully, if he were made after he were made, would definitely have been much bigger. I want a whole grain of sand. Thank you. See, the best thing about having one grain of sand is that it doesn't get everywhere, because it's just one. It still is coarse, rough, and irritating, though. Yeah, what about Oswald? We making a horror movie about him, too? Yeah, Oswald's my guy. I like whenever we're able to reference Oswald. Story behind Disney, how Disney got the rights back to him is so funny. They traded a newscaster for him. I don't have Mini Racers Larry Camper. No, I'm missing him. That and the Tex Dinoco 3-pack are the only packs I've ever missed. Yep. But Tex Dinoco is getting a re-release in 3-pack this year, so hopefully I could finally get my hands on him. Hope Larry comes back. You need to re-release George's new one. He's out in that new 11-pack if you're willing to sell that. I feel like if we still have the blocky blisters, Chiefess would have been a single. No, considering the fact that we're getting much larger cars as singles, she would have been a single no matter what. Very wide blister, though. Yeah, no, Sully is really small. And once you realize that, like, we're all used to him being small, but once you really realize that, you can't unsee it. Yeah, she would have been deluxe, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, you everything is a silver lining, right? We're getting bigger cars for cheaper now, so. Twisted Deluxes was saying the singles line, given they're making bigger cars as singles. Well, then you don't have a deluxe line anymore. Then you just have some singles. Gonna watch Inside Out 2? Probably not. I saw the first one. Thought it was alright. I don't really have an interest in the second one. I know I'm probably in the minority saying that, but... yes, of course, I love a good Wilhelm scream. High Speed Heist, I don't remember it, but it sounds like it goes hard. I'm smart, right? I hope so. I'm smart enough to tell you you wrote the wrong form of your. Absolutely obliterated Rusty's 95. Thank you for joining us, Catnap Studios. Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not firing on all cylinders. I've been laughing at unfunny jokes for hours. See, I just laughed at that. That wasn't funny. We could cut some of the Lightning McQueen bootleg balloon. That'd be really funny. Gotta take a note of that for my next mini stream. Imagine it would be an episode of Cars Adventures with Herb Kerbler and Chris Freeman. That'd be funny. I don't have plans for it now. Herb, where is Herb? Herb is still brainwashed, I think. Are you still in college? Yeah. Second semester of my sophomore year. Will Barney Cones be your favorite Salt Fever diecast? It would be such a power move for me to say my favorite release from Salt Fever is not a Salt Flats Racer, but it's probably going to be Peggy Liner. I don't remember what I'm going for, quite frankly. I'm going for 4 years, I'll give you that. Considering all the Order 66 scenes being made, do you think the next Cars movie will feature the Youngling scene where Anakin Skywalker appeared? Yeah, I think probably at this point, we're gonna see how Cal Weathers, a young Cal Weathers, survived. Or yours especially, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at remembering real life things. I only know toy cars and Batman. Brr. I need to go to bed. There was a way for the Cars Star Wars line who would be in it. I don't know. I think they should expand to outside of the original trilogy. I think we need to find roles for significant Cars characters that didn't have any, you know? If we could find places for Sheriff and Flo, that'd be nice. I wish it did something for prequels. I think Cars 2 would be for the prequels and 3 would be for the sequel trilogy, at least in my headcanon. Yeah, I think doing a sequel trilogy wave with Cars 3 characters would have been a really smart move. That would have been very smart to do. Sheriff is Tarkin. See, yeah, I think we could pencil Flo in as Mon Mothma. We made Sarge the Emperor, guys. We could do anything we want. Bye, Victor. Thank you for joining us. Francesco is Jar Jar Binks. There we go! Anyone remember Hey Cal? Robin and I, for the Cars Adventures Rewatch podcast, are soon going to be rewatching Hey Cal. He's never seen it, I'm afraid. Would the lemons be the droids or the clones? That's a very good question. Do you think they'll ever re-release Race Damage Mood Springs? Not gonna lie, I think they could one day. I genuinely, I don't think I can see a world where the Cars diecast line ends without us receiving a re-release of him. I genuinely, and look, I have no basis, it's just my opinion. But personally, I think we gotta see him again someday. I think it's inevitable, honestly. Yeah, see, they would have marked Cruz as Rey, you'd have Jackson as Kylo Ren, throw in some of the other side casts, it would have been smart. Look, the lack of an Admiral Akbar in the Star Wars Cars line, okay? Very upsetting. Alright guys, we're gonna wrap it up in about 15 minutes, I think. Then we would have been going for about an hour and a half. thoughts on Madam Web. I'll pass. I don't think I should. I don't think we should allow me to rant. The evil Spider-Man suit. No, it really isn't. I'm sorry. They just made it up. It's the most, like, purely pandery thing ever. It's good. He looks like Spider-Man. No, we're not getting into Madam Web. I'm sorry. I will talk about anything that is not that. You know how they say you can't look away from a car crash? That's me with Madam Web. No, and your opinion is valid, obviously. I can't say I agree, of course. Thoughts on the news of Toy Story 5? Remember how I said I shouldn't talk about Madam Web? I should legally not be allowed to talk about Toy Story 5 because that conversation's not going to end well. Well, if you put Peggy Liner in a 2-pack blister, then that's not a single anymore. The way cars are shipped, that wouldn't work. That's not a single anymore. Thoughts on Lightning McQueen entering the MCU? You know, I felt like they've been running out of ideas for quite a while. That was the final nail in the coffin for me. When he appeared in the post-credit scene of Iron Child 17 and told Hulk Jr., Sr., the Third, I'm gonna kill Thanos' brother. Oh wait, no, Thanos does have a brother and he's friggin' Harry Styles. Are you eating chips, Ty? No, I was ripping a sheet of paper I had. This is some packing paper from something I opened earlier. I was disposing of it. Thoughts on Sony doing Disney's DVDs? I think Disney's treatment of physical media is abysmal. I love that whenever I have background noise in my streams, everyone always thinks I'm eating. This has happened several times. I wish I could be eating right now. I'm kind of hungry. No, Disney's treatment of physical media is so upsetting. I thought you were doing an unboxing off screen. No. You do more Minecraft live streams? I might. I haven't been playing Minecraft recently. Maybe. Custom streams, yeah, I will. I don't know when, but sure we'll get around to them eventually. You know what, guys, I think we're gonna end things here. Thank you all for joining us tonight. See you guys tomorrow for some new videos. I'm gonna head on out and probably go to bed. Alright, bye now.